Well, first of all, I want to thank all of you for attending, and I want to thank the sponsors of this conference. Can we give them a round of applause for their hard work? Thank you. I want to particularly thank you for coming out because I know we are in an economically challenging time right now, and my presentation is about supplier diversity with AT&T. But I will say on a personal and a professional level, I think one of the most important aspects of any successful business is building relationships, and all of you are here today to do that. So I'm going to stay around a little longer afterwards, so if you would like to visit with me, please feel free to stop me. Also, I want to give you my email address, too, before I forget. My name is Yvette with a Y, Y-V-E-T-T-E. Last name Mouton, M-O-U-T-O-N. And my email handle is ym7626@att.com. So with those administrative matters taken care of, I want to just go ahead and tell you a little bit about AT&T and what we've been doing over the past 42 years. Let me make sure I get this right. Okay, a little bit of a slide is missing. Uh-oh. I just pressed the wrong button. Okay, thank you. Anyway, we've been doing this for 42 years, supplier diversity. We've been pioneers in the area, world class. I know because I sat in regulatory compliance for a while and worked closely with the FCC in my early days with AT&T, and we've been called upon for our best practices, and we've been an industry leader in supplier chain for quite a while. We've also been very blessed with the recipient, as being the recipient of different awards from Diversity Inc. to HACR, and with regard to our diversity, it's across the board with women, Hispanic, minorities, handicapped. Across the board, we partner with different people. Also, we paved the way, we raised the bar, we led by example. You see these old pictures, that's validation that we've been doing this for quite a while in terms of getting out into the community and working with folks. One of the most important things about our supplier diversity is, as you know, with AT&T, we're very much into innovation, sustainability, and we work on a global level. As noted in my bio, I currently work in a very small niche in AT&T, which is the AT&T Global Business Operations Sourcing. And frankly, I tell you, I've been with AT&T for 11 years, and I never realized we had this little piece when we bought AT&T, and we do business with the federal government. One of the things that I do is I work on the contracts on the Army bases, and we have what they call CONUS, which is continental United States, and OCONUS, outside the continental United States. There's a lot of work in that area as well. So be mindful of the fact that we just don't work the commercial side, we also work the defense side as well. Our supplier diversity spend is very honorable. Back in the late 60s, we were at zero, and now we do over $30 billion of supplier diversity spend. And I know this has crept up over the years, and we're actually striving to make it even higher. We're reaching for a 21.5% goal. We're trying to shoot for 15% in minority business spend, 5% in women, and 1.5% in disabled veteran business enterprises. And that last category is very important, particularly for the federal government when you're partnering for defense contracts. I know that's very important to the government. I must also add that we look for opportunities to do supply diversity spend in all aspects of our business. We have, everything from transportation to storage, the little niches that sometimes people don't think about. A lot of times people think about AT&T as just a huge, infrastructure, but there are details in what we have to do. And so if you have a special niche in an area, we're always looking for that. Everything down to hand sanitizers. I was at a hand sanitizers. We need hand sanitizers. I was at a conference about 2 or 3 months ago, and there was a gentleman who actually provided the hand sanitizers to AT&T, and I must tell you, they were delicious. They were rose scented. They smelled so nice. So you may have a product that we may need, and you may think, does AT&T need hand sanitizers? Yes. So as my mother used to tell me all the time, the answer is always no until you ask. Okay, we include diversity business in our supply. Do we? Why we do it? Absolutely. This is our wonderful CEO and chair, Randall Stevenson, and we do it because of the inclusion, the fact that we can better serve our customers. We have different viewpoints. We don't want to look at life in a narrow tunnel vision. We live in a very diverse world right now, so we're always open to different ways of seeing things, and that's how you add value, to help us think outside the box. We always want to do business with people who are smarter than us, more creative than us, and have different ideas than us, because that's what helps us to, to be a successful company. In terms of a competitive advantage in the marketplace, we have a great community impact. We have customer loyalty, brand enhancement, better business solution, and sales enablement through diversity. So across the board, it helps us with our product. But in terms of the community impact, I have to digress a little bit and say how proud I am of AT&T with regard to the outreach that we engage in with regards to scholarships and helping the community in times of need. And that's sort of my calling. I used to work in external affairs, so there's a lot of that as well. We do a lot in the community to help people. And I'm glad that you came out, and we have other activities that we have in the future. And I would recommend that you continue to do just what you're doing, coming out and networking with people. Okay, how do we do it? We have actually different diversity teams. We have a business development team, a channel management team, marketing communications, and business operations. And they all handle different aspects of it. The business deals with the results analysis and compliance reports and certification and verification. And again, I worked in compliance, and I want to sort of dovetail on what the gentleman was saying about making sure that if you have a policy, that you actually stick to the policy. And one of the areas that I work in, because I negotiate the contracts and the subcontracts for the defense side of the house, we have like non-disclosure agreements, and we have all types of contracts that have privacy clauses in them and the like. And it's very important that you are compliant. That's something that's very important to us, that you actually comply with, our policies in terms of privacy, and making sure that we comply with, FCC or any other regulations across the board. Business development, channel management, they're actually responsible for the new supplier diversity, and of course the marketing communications, event management, corporate sponsorships, stakeholder management, supplier diversity outreach ambassador program. I'm one of the ambassadors, and strategic communication plan and advertising. So very much like what you're doing, but as you know, on a large scale and also across the country. I'm actually an ambassador. My normal job is negotiating contracts, but we have these events all over the country and in different areas. So if you by chance or hear from another part of the country, or you know the people, we constantly do this, and you go on our webpage, you can find out where else we're having these events. We do a lot of corporate partnerships, and as I keep emphasizing here, and I know you know this, but the whole notion of partnering with people is so very important. We couldn't make it without organizations like the National Minority Supplier Development, the Women's Business Enterprise Association for Service Disabled Veterans, the National Veteran-Owned Business. We partner with a little bit of everyone, also through our grants programs, and we partner for philanthropic reasons in the community.